everyone, it's Gabby from the Kia Hyundai channel. In today's comparison, we're taking two Kia Sorentos, the X-Line Limited and the X Pro, and giving you a quick guide as to what comes in each trim. Now both of these are considered top-of-the-line models, but one, it's a little bit more refined, and then one certainly packs a little bit more of a rugged punch. So Charlotte and I are going to give you an exterior and an interior walkthrough of everything you need to know if you're comparing these two trims. Let's go. Now before we take a look at some of the design differences, let's talk powertrain, because they're both going to come with the same 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder gasoline engine. You're going to get 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. But here's the difference. This vehicle, the X Pro, can tow up to 4,500 pounds. Now, the Sorento over there is only 3,500, so a 1,000 pound difference, and that is largely due thanks to enhanced cooling on this vehicle. So if you are someone who's towing quite frequently or towing up to that capacity, definitely recommend going for the X Pro just for that in itself. Now let's focus on the aesthetics. Now both of these cars on the front end are going to look almost exactly the same. Some of the other differences are going to come to their footwear, but we'll get more on that later. So for the front end, you're going to get a nice dark black grille with some dark chrome housing surrounding it. There's also an integrated front camera, so right over there, which is just one of the many cameras found on both of these vehicles to work together to create a 360 view. So if that's a must-have feature for you, it actually starts on the X-Line Limited trim, so definitely check out this one. Below that, we have a body color front bumper with a little bit of gloss black and then a forward-facing radar sensor. So that's going to be utilized for an abundance of safety functions, namely Highway Drive Assist number 2, which again starts on this trim level, allowing your vehicle to not only maintain a safe distance from the car ahead of you and maintain the speed, it's also going to do automated lane changes, so that's pretty cool. For the lights, they both have the same lighting system, so we get a beautiful amber daytime running light, vertically stacked LEDs, and then some LED fog lights as well. There's also front parking sensors integrated into that gloss bit on the bumper. Now for wheels, the wheels are definitely sorry guys, I'm going to be limping this entire video. This was not the proper footwear choice. But this is definitely a nice choice when it comes to wheels. These are 20-inch gloss black alloys, and there's actually a two-tone finish. You can't tell right now because there's a bunch of tire shine on them, but we do have a little bit of matte in the very center and then some gloss surrounding on your spokes. You're going to get a Continental all-season tire, and both of these vehicles do have all-wheel drive with terrain modes, including snow, mud, and sand. You get a bit of plastic surrounding your wheel housing, and then when it comes to accents on the body, they're both going to share the same gloss black with a little bit of matte underneath. They both have power folding side mirrors, and that starts on the X-Line Limited trim. You're also going to get rain sensing wipers, gloss black pillars, and then raised roof rails. Both of these cars are also going to sit a little higher than the other Sorentos in the lineup thanks to their increased ground clearance. I was about to say lift kit, increased ground clearance. And then coming to the end of the Sorento, they're both going to have the same great safety functions, or I should say comfort functions, like a smart power lift gate. Seating capacity is going to be exactly the same, so they're both 6-seaters with captain's chairs in the center. And then with your rear seats folded down like this, you can see we have an abundance of storage space. But here's something that's a little bit different. When I close this, you're going to see that, we have our backup camera, we have our hidden rear wiper, but there's no camera integrated into our high-mounted stop lamp area. And that's something that's going to change drastically on the X Pro, so let's take a look at that now. Again, style-wise, LED-wise, feature-wise, they are largely the same, but check this out, this is a little different. So Charlotte, when we go inside, is going to show you a little bit more on that, but essentially it's going to be your digital rear view camera. Skid plates again are the same. You get the rear parking sensors, Sorento badging, and our X badging on the right, but you're going to get X Pro on this model. Let's take a look at the wheels now side by side. So like I said, 20-inch alloys on the X-Line Limited, but you're going to get 17s on the X Pro. So let's do a quick side by side. I realize my feet are the wrong way, so check this out. You get rugged, a little bit more capable, all-weather capable, all-season capable when you go to the X Pro, and something a little bit more refined, but still very capable, depending on where you're living and how you're driving, when you go to the X-Line Limited. So these are going to be all-terrain tires. We got our 17-inch alloys, like I said, definitely a lot more sidewall real estate, a little bit more robust, and again, the towing capacity is an increased 1,000 pounds of towing capacity. So, what do you think for the exterior? Let us know in the comments, but now let's take a look inside.
Now let's talk about interior, and I think it's only fair to start off with a little bit of luxury. So we're going to take a look at the X-Line Limited and the interior on that first, because all of the features in this vehicle are going to be included on the X Pro unless they're added to or replaced. But first, how do you get into the car? So starting on the X-Line Limited, you actually have digital key, there we go, which allows you to use your smartphone to lock and unlock your vehicle and also share it between members of your household should you choose to do so. As you head inside, I'll have my camera woman come around. This is, again, where we see the luxury continuing because we have a lot of enhanced tech and comfort features. Up top, you can see that we have the inclusion of memory seats. So we've got a fully powered driver's seat with driver's knee extender. So it's tall and short driver approved. For our windows, you can also see that we have express and obstacle detecting windows all the way throughout the vehicle, which again, a great feature to have, and you don't know that you like it until you use it. For our sound system, we also have a Bose premium sound system starting in this vehicle, which is incredibly comfortable. Now, speaking of luxury, of course, these seats, they are quilted, and they even have exclusive X-line debossing on them, and we'll even see the X Pro counterpart in our next vehicle. Closer look at the seating controls. So you can see we have tons of different ways to configure it in addition to our regular 8-way. You also have 4-way lumbar support, which is incredibly comfortable, and here's that driver's knee extender in action, which brings my knees out to perfectly access our sport style pedals. So that is something that is different and starts on the X-Line Limited. Now, let's talk about tech, because on the exterior of this vehicle, Gabby talked a lot about the safety features from the outside, and now we actually get to see them in action. So for example, you have Highway Drive Assist 2, which of course you can access through your steering wheel. And right above your steering wheel, we just so happen to have your 12.3-inch instrument cluster, which again is going to start on this trim, and I think looks absolutely great with the simplified graphics. Of course, you're also going to have your other 12.3-inch screen for your infotainment, and on your infotainment, if you press this handy camera button here, it's going to pull up the view for your 360 camera. So utilizing all of those cameras on the mirrors, the front and the rear of the vehicle, it's going to piece together this picture for you, but it's also going to give you unique looks for all of the other cameras, such as your mirror cameras, your front, and then of course also on the rear. If you press this one here, it's going to give you a full picture where it's like you're standing outside the vehicle and looking at it. This is really handy for situations like parking, especially if it's a tight spot. Now let's start the vehicle up, because I want to show you your blind view monitor. When the vehicle is on and you go to indicate a turn, it actually gives you a live feed of what's in your blind spot. That way, just for another extra level of protection or caution, that way you're not missing anything that could be there, like a cyclist or a pedestrian, which can sometimes be trickier to see. When it comes to the back seat, you're going to have an inverter down at the bottom. Of course, you're going to have rear air vents, which is my favorite. And starting on this trim, you also have manual sunshades, which if you're a parent, you know that this is a game changer because they completely cover the window. You can get airflow in with the window down without getting bugs. And I just love the look of them too. Way better than what you find at Canadian Tire. Let's take a look at the X Pro. Did somebody say rugged? Welcome to the interior of the X Pro. Now remember, all of the features that I showed you on the X-Line Limited are going to carry over into this vehicle, but we have two differences. The first one, let's talk about it because it's a lot darker in here. And you actually have a dark suede microfiber headliner, which I think looks stunning and I love the feel of it. It does feel very luxurious. Maybe we should have seen it on the X-Line Limited, you never know, but it's going to extend, of course, to your visors and also to the C-pillars. The other feature that I want to show you about, which Gabby already hinted, is your digital rear view mirror. Now, if you flip this switch, basically it's going to give you a live feed of what you see in your rear view mirror, and it's actually about the width of 6 parking spots. So you see a fair bit in this camera. The nice thing too is it's not like it's impeding any other safety features, because if you want your regular rear view mirror, it's there for the taking. But this is nice, especially if you do have something in your vehicle that can sometimes take up space, like balloons or any other random items like that. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us in today's video where we get to showcase the X-Line Limited and the X Pro. I'm curious as to what you think, if you think that these vehicles are really all that different, and if one truly is rugged with one being a little bit more refined. Let us know in the comments down below, and even if there's any other comparisons that you guys want to see next. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the Kia Hyundai channel for more. We'll see you next time.